And the title of the session, all our sessions as we move forward, is Building Innovation. And so forth, and that's something we're really passionate about, and we feel like we're about to become this new innovation community now. Technology is not a point where it's like, could be entrepreneur. Let's talk about how can we solve real problems outside of just some mobile apps and so forth. But I would like to ask the panelists in terms of a building mindset. Each of you have played a role in that. So how do you come to a building mindset to let you follow your career path?
I think the defining quality, if you will, of a builder. Is that better? Thank you. I think one of the defining qualities of a builder is someone who doesn't live in today. Meaning, if all of your thoughts are about today, then you probably aren't a builder. Builders are people who are constantly thinking about what tomorrow is and what we will make tomorrow be. And so I think that, being a builder, we're a very special group of people. Doesn't mean that, we're better than those who, of course, live in today, but part of what we do at EnovationNation is to help those who do live in today think about tomorrow. And it goes back to what Chris said about, socioeconomics. A lot of times when you are in an environment where you're thinking about eating today, where am I going to sleep tomorrow, there isn't a lot of time that's lended for thinking about tomorrow other than survival. So one of the things that we do at EnovationNation is we work with kids, we work with teenagers, because we want them to start thinking more creatively about their environment. And so we're trying to build another generation of builders. My 8-year-old nephew always tells me, and this is a joke between us, he calls me T. He says, T, why don't you call Elon Musk and tell him I'm a builder like he is? I'm like, yeah, I'll call him tomorrow and tell him exactly what you said. But he already has a mindset that tomorrow is what he makes it, and not what everyone tells him that it is. And so I think that ultimately that's what makes a builder. Those are the key qualities of a builder. And building innovation ultimately determines what our tomorrow looks like.
So from an investor standpoint, builders are those that look to make the world a better place.
Oh.
No, seriously. Builders are looking to solve real problems, right? So they're curious, but they're also creative. So they're looking for new ways to fix things that are broken, and that's what I look for in the companies that I invest in. Like, is this something that people actually need, want, and that's what I think separates, I guess, a dreamer from a builder. Because once you tackle something that's real, you can actually get to a true solution and build something. So that's my perspective.
So definitely agree with both points before, and I think for me in the space that we're in, one of the things I deal with is not just the builders but also the makers, and that's kind of what a lot of this industry is referred to as. And for me, I always think back when I was a little kid playing with Legos and Lincoln Logs and building things that had no existence at that time. I mean, the Millennium Falcon doesn't exist, so they say. But I was trying to build it with Legos. And when I work with the companies and look at the entrepreneurs who are accepting in, I mean, that's what I look for. I look for that same kind of twinkle, that same kind of vision in their eye. How can I build this? With these pieces, how can I create something? So again, back in creation, that's being creative is definitely the defining factor of being a builder. And again, living in the future and building something for a better tomorrow.
Personally, I think everybody is a builder. Just that we build things in different ways, and depending on what your context provides to you, you do different things with that. So for example, I'm from the Dominican Republic. I didn't understand entrepreneurship. I didn't understand the word until very recently, maybe 4 years ago. But my mom has always been an entrepreneur. When in the Dominican Republic, nobody knew about alternative medicine and alternative ways to not be invasive in the body. My mom set up a whole business around that. And then my whole family did the same. So you see people trying to build stuff, to make stuff, even to think and execute on what their vision is. And that was a different concept of being a builder. Here you come and then you have another set of tools, like you come in San Francisco and everybody's trying to build something. Who here is an entrepreneur? Who has a side project? Who is working with a couple of colleagues on the side, doing something that you're just excited about? It has nothing to do with what you studied, with what you're working, or any skills that you have. You're just learning on the way. So I think everybody inherently has this creative spark that you can actually turn into, that you can materialize with the things that you have around. And depending where you live or what's your environment, you can either, push that very hard, or you can just like not even be aware that you can do it. So that's what I think.
Thank you. I would also agree with what's been said so far. I think one other thing that I would talk about is that a builder mentality, I think for me at least, starts out with understanding. Understanding your environment, looking around and seeing and being able to notice and be aware of the problems that exist. I think one of the things at August, for example, was that when we were first getting going, I was thinking, is this kind of a 1% problem? Am I just solving problems for techies with a lot of money who live in Silicon Valley? And in speaking with more and more people out there, what I found, there was a unique segment, particularly amongst women, who were concerned about physical home safety. Right? There were many people who would leave the house and be like, did I lock the door? I can't remember. Is it locked? Is it not locked? Who is coming in and out of my home, right? And that was actually very, very interesting to me, and that actually gave me a great amount of additional passion for continuing to work on this project and continuing to build it. And I think that's always really, really important. Just having an awareness or sensitivity to what's going on around you, seeing the problem, and then, as everyone has said, anybody can be a builder. At that point, you get the passion, you see what the problem is, and you fight for it.
Awesome, awesome, great feedback.